A bill is up for debate this legislative session, which would let birth assistants be exempt from required midwife certification. And this would change the current law, which requires all midwives to be licensed later this year. KITV4's Shanila Kabir reports on how the proposed bill would impact the industry.
This is a last effort for the many women in Hawaii who are practicing traditional at-home birthing techniques without a license. 4 years ago, the state legislature required all midwives to obtain a national certification, and that deadline is July 1st. And many midwives and mothers reached out to KITV4 and said this will potentially put so many mothers in danger who live hours away from a hospital and rely on a nearby midwife.
I don't believe that a license or a certification necessarily gives you the knowledge that you need to support birth. Just because they're unlicensed doesn't mean that they're not trained.
Amber Goff says her due date is around September 20th, and she plans to work with an unlicensed midwife. And if House Bill 955 does not go through, she will give birth alone in her home on Maui.
Unlicensed midwives are willing to serve a community of Black, Indigenous, and people of color, and they do so in a way where we feel safe and heard.
Several midwives say there is little to no access to the training for certification in Hawaii.
We have folks that have come here with that education and training and that level of certification who are the only ones in the state of Hawaii. None of them are from Hawaii.
They believe home births and hospital births have the same number of complications and success. But many who oppose this measure say requiring a license improves the standard of medical care here in the islands. According to the National Library of Medicine, babies born with brain injuries are more likely to happen in a planned home birth. The Hawaii section of American College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists opposes the measure. In written testimony, they said the majority of births occur without major complications, whether they occurred in the hospital or out of the hospital. However, we do know that complications occur. Evidence shows better maternal and neonatal outcomes when midwives are clinically trained to handle life-threatening emergencies and integrate well into higher levels of care. House Bill 955 is still alive on the House side, and advocates are waiting for it to be heard again in the Finance Committee. Shanila Kabir, KITV4, Island News.